Hey guys, good afternoon, morning or evening, whatever time y'all are tuning in. It's afternoon here where I'm at. Currently down in Bruton, Alabama. Me, my wife and kids came out to visit my wife's grandparents for the day. Always enjoy coming out here. Great time, the kids can run around. They have plenty of land, tons and tons of land and property. So much to do out here. But yesterday evening, I spent some time working on some knives and things like that for the video today. I'd picked them up from another relative. A lot of the knives that he had belonged to his dad, father-in-law, and other people like that in his life. And a lot of them were in pretty rough state. Years of sitting in boxes. And then some of them, they were used a lot 20, 30 years ago. And then they've just kind of sat, and some of them were rusted up pretty well and, you know, not in great working order. But the one I'd picked to work on for the video, it's a 1991 Case Sidewinder. When I pulled the knife out of the box, I was impressed. I mean, it's an amazing knife, and any of you that are collectors know how collectible and how valuable the Sidewinder is. But it was in pretty rough shape. The button barely worked on it. It didn't want to open and close properly. The tip stuck out a little bit when you'd go to close the knife. So had to do a little bit of correction there on the base of the tang. Definitely did a lot of sanding on the handles, the bolsters, things like that. I didn't want to take all the character out of the knife, but I wanted to get it back to a state that if he wanted to collect or put it up for as an heirloom type item, that would be an option. But I wanted to leave some of the reminders of the usage that was on it from his father or grandfather or father-in-law. I know the majority of the knives he had came from those three people, so I just wanted to save some of those memories on the knife for him. But we're gonna go ahead and hop into the video. You guys just let me know how you think I did. I do believe that I could have done more with it, but again, I didn't want to take all the character out of it that it did have. So I hope you guys have all had an amazing weekend with your families. It's a great weekend to spend with your families. I hope you all have been blessed. I hope you all are blessed by the video. Hopefully maybe you learned something, or maybe you can teach me something, guys. But again, thank y'all for being here, and I hope y'all enjoy. God bless. All right, guys, so today we're going to be working on this Case Sidewinder. This belongs to a relative of mine. This was actually his dad's from years ago. You can tell it's got some grime built up in it. It probably hasn't ever really been cleaned. He had brought it to me. The button's sticking pretty well. So we're just going to work on trying to restore it a little bit. Definitely got some signs of wear on the bolsters. We're going to try to sand out some of that and just get it all polished back out, bring out some life back in this wood. Hopefully get the inside cleaned out well enough that the button will function like it's supposed to. Probably do a little bit of light sanding on the blade. And I don't know, if permitted, we might be able to put another little edge on the blade. This is an extremely awesome knife. They get more and more rare all the time. So I'd love to get this fixed up for him and get it back, because I know this is an heirloom, and I know he'll appreciate it, having his dad's knife back. So just sit back, guys. We're going to work on this. I'll go stage by stage. Some of it I may fast forward through a little bit, so you guys ain't got to sit here and watch the whole thing. But hopefully by the end of it, looks a lot better, and it'll be something that he can be proud of to show off again. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Sit back, get comfy, and God bless y'all. All right, guys, so first thing we're gonna do is I got some 400 grit sandpaper. I'm just gonna start here. Go ahead and go over the bolsters. I know it's a little aggressive, but I wanna get out some of those scratches and a lot of those imperfections that's in it from, I don't know, if somebody had hit it with a grinder or used it with as a hammer or whatever the case may be, but there was some pretty deep scarring in there, especially on the back side here. So I'm gonna see if I can get some of that out and hopefully I can get the majority of it out with the 400 grit. If not, we might have to go up to or go down to a lower grit just to get some of those imperfections out. Normally I would do this with a belt sander and get it a lot more even, a lot quicker, but unfortunately my belt sander died on me. So this is where we're at now. We'll be doing it by hand until I decide to go get another one. So I'm going to work on that. As you can already tell, it's already shining up a little bit, but you can see the ripples in there. So I'm going to try to sand a lot of that down, try to get it a little bit more even. So I'm going to work on 400, might have to go down to 320 or 240. But as soon as I get it down to a comfortable place where we can start working off of it, I'll come back. All right, guys, so I ended up going down to 240. It seemed to get a lot of those ripples out. I mean, there are still some pretty deep gouges in there, as you can see, like that one there. But there's nothing I can really do about that one without taking a lot of meat off or actually having to weld it. And I really don't want to do that. So there's just going to be a little bit of that left in there. So I went down to 240, and I'm going to come back over it now with the 400. Just kind of smooth that out. Start working on polishing out those bolsters. I get up to about 600, I'll go ahead and sand the handles down. But just want to get this scuffed up a little bit, smoothed out a little bit more on both sides. I haven't done any actual cleaning on the inside of the knife yet or in here. I did drop some mineral oil in there earlier just to see if it'll kind of lube up whatever's got that thing all gunked up. So hopefully that'll sit a little bit, and then once we jump over into cleaning it, I'll actually use this, shoot it down in there, let it penetrate because it foams up pretty good, and hopefully whatever that is that's got built up in there that's slowing that mechanism down will break free, and we'll be able to get it to work like it did when it was brand new. So I'm gonna work on this, gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit, work on sanding these out, and then get over to the handle, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, so we've sanded the handle with 400 grit. It took out some of those gouges and worn spots in the handle, and we're just going to move on up. This is 600 grit. We're going to work on the handle as well as those bolsters, and we'll come back probably with the Dremel, with the wire brush on it, and hit some of these spots. I might actually have to come back and hit this spot a little bit more aggressive with some more coarse grit sandpaper to get those spots out. But we'll see how it turns out. I don't want to take all the scratches and bumps and bruises out of it. I mean, those are all, memories of his father that I would like to leave some of those on there and leave it with some character. This is obviously not going to be a new knife, but I want it to still reflect some of the past that was on it, So, ain't got to be a new knife, but I want it to be newer looking and give it a new life. Keep hitting this camera. And then I've got just this normal cotton towel that I'm wiping it off with right now, because I'd put some mineral oil on it. So trying to give it a little bit of life here and there as I go throughout. But we're going to keep on moving up. I'll go on 800 and 1,000 on the handle, and I'll come back. All right, guys, so this is where we're at so far. This is running over everything with 1,000 grit. I think at this time I'm going to get the Dremel. It's got a lot of buildup in there, so we're going to definitely have to spray it out. I'm going to get my Dremel with the wire brush and go ahead and hit the case emblem down here on the inside just to polish it up a little bit, guys, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, so use the Dremel, clean that up a little bit, but definitely fixing to have to put some oil down in it. There's no telling how much stuff is down in there, but you got to be careful because you got the mechanism in there. We'll just have to see if we can get stuff down in there and spray it out. But don't mind the background. Hambone's out there playing with our dog, and so they're having a good time out there. But go ahead and spray some of this down in there. Probably won't hurt. Go ahead and rub some into the handle. We're going to come back over these handles though a little bit more. Probably end up sanding the handles as well as the bolsters down, probably to 3,000 or 5,000, and then putting a good coat of wax and polishing them out real good so they have a nice shine to them. But right off the bat, you can see how much buildup is on there. Years and years of dirt and grime and who knows what else, grease that's accumulated over them. Try to get it all out for the most part and try to get all these pieces working like they should again. Try to get that oil down in there and let it work in that mechanism to free it up. You see all that just pop out. So I'm gonna work on lubing this up, trying to clean out some of that, and then be back in a minute. All right, guys, so I've been working on this thing now for a few minutes. The mechanism on it, it's still kind of stiff. I've got some oil in there. I've been working on it, but it's not wanting to pop all the way up. As you can tell, it keeps wanting to sit back down in there, so I'm going to keep trying to work on it. I don't know if there's stuff built up on the inside of it around the actual emblem where the button is or what, but you know, it'll push down pretty easy, but it's not wanting to pop back up like it should. So again, I'm not sure if it's the spring or if it's just from all the stuff that's built up in there. So I'm going to continue to spray it out a little bit more and work on that, and once I get to a safe place for that, we'll move forward as far as the continuing of the sanding on the outside, because this should sit almost flush. As you can tell, I can push on it and it'll pop up into place, but it wants to settle back down in there. So I'm not sure if the spring might just be wore down a little bit or what, but I'm gonna get it as good as I can get it, and that's the best I can do. All right, guys, so here's what I'm gonna do. Kind of been working on it here and there, but it's still kind of gunked up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and take it. I'm gonna sit it face down. This is food grade mineral oil. Just gonna let it sit in there, work it down into the cracks and crevices, and just let that sit in there for the next hour or so. After it's had a little bit of time to sit, I'll come in and get it out, wipe it down real good, and we'll work on trying to get it cleaned out a little bit more. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get it all taken care of, and we'll be back here in just a little bit. All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. I've let this sit there in oil now for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We're going to go ahead, try to take it out. Went ahead and put me on some gloves. That way, any and everything I do is not covered in oil. Makes things a lot harder when you're trying to sand and everything like that. But just kind of see how that works a little bit. At least it's locking out now like it's supposed to. But we'll continue to work on that here in a minute. We'll start getting all this excess oil off of it, and then see if we can move on with some of the other but I mean, it's starting to look nicer just from the oil. We'll try to get it a good deep clean, finish sanding everything out. I can already feel that's moving a lot better. Still seems like there's some grit around the well, around the pivot point on the blade, but maybe able to get the rest of that out, just moving it back and forth, maybe a little bit more oil. So let me get this all wiped down real good, and then we'll jump back over to the sanding part. All right, so the last step we had done on the actual handle and bolsters was 1,000 grit. So we're going to go ahead, this is 1,200 grit here. This is a little piece of foam sanding paper. We're going to go ahead and hit it with the 1,200. Those bolsters real good. And with this, we'll work our way up, all the way up, probably to the 3,000 or 5,000. We'll just have to see how everything starts to turn out. Still got oil coming out of it. Makes it so hard to sand when you're trying to dry sand and all this oil keeps creeping out, but that's a good thing. At least it's penetrating. Might have to go to a piece of actual sanding paper. I don't think this is going to do the job quite like I like. So let's see. Yeah. So we'll just continue to work this at 1,200. And then once we make it up through there, I'll go ahead and move up from 1,200 to 1,500, 2,000, and then I'll check back with you guys here in just a bit. All right, guys, so my phone cut out on me, so done it up to 2,000. As you can see, there's obviously still some blemishes in it. This side's getting a little bit better. We're gonna go ahead with the 2,000 grit, and we're just gonna work on that bolster. See about polishing it out a little bit more. Flip it over, do the same on the other side. Now it will polish out. There will be some obvious signs of wear on it just because they're so deep into that bolster, but I don't want to go too aggressive or, you know, take the grinder or sander or anything like that to it. We're just going to leave those little nicks in it there. I mean, that's all from his dad when he had the knife. I mean, he used it as a tool, which that's what knives are for most of us, given we all have some that we like to just show off and collect, but it's probably the most important tool I carry with me every day as my pocket knife. I usually carry more than one because I have an actual knife I like to work with, and then I have the ones I like to keep in my pocket kind of for show. I usually carry an EDC knife and then a protection knife if, you know, for some reason I need a protection. But I usually carry an EDC Bang Bang as well, which kind of overrides the EDC knife in that case. But, you know, all you guys are the same way. But hit those bolsters again with the 2,000. And again, there's just so much oil seeping out of here from where I let it soak. Get towards the end and work on the blade, we'll switch over to microfiber and see how that works. So that's where we're at on 2000 grit. We'll go ahead and move on up. Got some 3000 here. And guys, you can stop whenever you like. I like the polished bolster look. Some people would rather have the brushed look or the satin look. It's all preference, you know. I feel like the knife looks better, especially with the wood, with the polished out bolsters. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this a little bit at the 3000 grit, and I'll come back when I'm finishing up with the 5000 and we'll take a look at them bolsters and see how they look. All right, and here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the 5000. And I mean, again, guys, you can do it to your preference. I just like polishing out the bolsters, and I prefer to do it by hand. You know, some people use their little machines or the polishing heads for the Dremel. I just find it to be more satisfying to do it this way. It's more like therapy for me. And as you can see, you're starting to get that mirror finish. I think it just looks so good. I think it's going to look really good once we wax the wood real well, get some oil into it, and bring some life back into that wood. I think it's going to look real good, shined up. So, again, this one got a mirror finish on it, but it does have those little imperfections in it. But I don't want to get rid of all the history of the knife, but I do want to get it to a point where it'll be usable. So I did do some polishing on the actual case emblem. I don't know if it's going to shine up quite as well. I don't think it's same metallic material, but it did shine up a little bit, and once we get it all wiped down and cleaned off, we'll know. But that's what we're looking like on the outside roughly before we add any oil or wax or anything to it. So I'm going to get everything ready. We're going to hop over and we're going to start working on the blade, getting some of these scrapes and scratches out. All right, for the blade, we're going to start off with 600 grit. I always try to have something to brace the blade on. I always try to get me a little piece of wood. That way you're not putting too much stress right there at the connection point for the pins where the blade's going to be pivoting. So I like to hold the blade in my hand, rest it on the piece of wood, and we're going to start. I'm just going to go around the tang, get any of that old buildup off. I know that's going to take some of these scratches out. I'm going to take some of these imperfections off the blade, but once we get done, I think you'll be able to tell a little bit better for the detail on the Sidewinder there. Usually I'll start just back and forth. Usually seems to be the easiest for my initial sanding. Just take everything, get it all even and lateral. Go ahead and hit the back of the blade. We're mainly just trying to take out some of those more defined scratches. Same with this side. I mean, as you can tell, you can see them a little bit better here. Go ahead and run along the tang here as well. And then same thing, we're just gonna work our way out. Always be careful, guys, when you're working with these blades. I mean, some might be sharper than the others. You know, you don't want to accidentally lay yourself open, and then you're taking a trip to the hospital or something like that to get sutures. I personally keep sutures out here as well as super glue. I'd rather do it myself than have to go to the hospital and have somebody else do it. But as you can tell, that already has taken a lot of those out. Try not to go too aggressive on it. You know, I don't want to take a lot of material off the blade. I just want to get a lot of those more defined scratches out. And as you see, as we work up. I'm going to stop probably around 1,000, maybe 1,200. We don't want a mirror finish on the blade. We just want it to look a little better. So from there, I'm going to go to 800. I'll work the 800 a little bit, and then I'll come back when I get to 1,000 or 1,200. All right, guys, so I'm at it with 1,000 grit. This I'm just going to do lightly. I think I'll probably stop here. I don't really want to get it any more polished out than this. So I'm just going to lightly go up and down on the blade with it. Basically put in these original looking grind lines. And this is a process, guys. I mean, it's going to take some time to get it just the way you want it. You know, everybody has their own preferences. I know what I like, and so, you know, I'll probably stop right here. I like the way that it looks at the 1,000. It's taking a lot of those main deep scratches out. So I think that'll look pretty good. You can still see some if you get real close to it, but they're nowhere as defined as they used to be. So from there, I'm going to work on wiping everything down. We'll put some mink oil on the wood to condition a little bit. We'll let that little bit sit for a little while, come back, wipe it all off with microfiber, then polish up the bolsters, do a final clean and wipe down, and that's where we'll be at, and we'll go over it then. Stick around, guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys, so there's no specific way to do this. I just put some on my finger. I like to rub it in. This is a good conditioning oil. Works great on clothes, like boots and stuff like that, as far as a waterproofer. It also works really well on wood as far as penetrating the wood, conditioning it, giving a little bit of lasting moisture, and sealing some of that moisture in to, you know, keep the wood looking fresh, looking new. It gives it a nice little shine. And I'll rub it on the back spring, rub it on the front. I'm not really worried about getting it down on the blade or anything like that. It wipes off pretty easy. And I don't really plan on eating any of it. But I don't really think it's going to hurt you that bad if you were to digest a little bit of it. So put it all on there real good. I'll let it sit. And then we'll come back and check it in about 10 or 15 minutes once this has had a time to sit on there a little bit. And we'll get it all wiped off and check the progress then. All right, guys, so it's been about 10 or 15 minutes. Just gonna come back, got me a microfiber cloth. Just gonna start wiping it down real good. Just wanna get off all that extra that's sitting on top. As you can tell, it looks way better than it did when we started. You know, I could have done a lot more with this knife, I feel like. You know, we could have came in with a sander and redone those bolsters, took all those scratches and scuffs out. But honestly, guys, I don't want to. This is an older knife. I mean, I think this is looks like might be a 91. This is something he's had for a long time. Belonged to his father, I believe. If not, it was his father-in-law. But I didn't want to take all the little issues out of it. I wanted to leave some of that there, but I still was able to polish it up pretty well. I'll probably put a coat of wax over this now that I've got that oiled up pretty good. And I'll shine these bolsters up one more time with sunshine cloth, and I'll show you guys what the finished product is. All right, guys, so got everything waxed, oiled, got some oil on the blade, got them the bolsters polished up. It's about as shiny as it's going to get with that mirror finish, even with the blemish side. I've got that is about to normal again. It even polished up a little bit itself, so turned out to be pretty great. Got some great snap to it. I really think he'll be very happy with it. Blade came out nice. Cleaned up a lot of those scratches. But there you go, guys. That is the Case Sidewinder. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know it was a little long. There's a few breaks in the video, but I really enjoyed working on this knife. I hope he enjoys it half as much as I enjoyed working on it. And if he ever decides to get rid of it, I'll have to tell him that I would be the first one interested. So again, guys, thank you all for watching. I noticed that we're over 200 subscribers on the channel now. So when I get to about 235 or so, I'll put out a video with details on the giveaway. So again, guys, thank you. This is Friday evening. I hope you guys have had a great week, and I hope you guys have a blessed weekend, and God bless.